Hi everyone, welcome to Side Buster Living. Let's start out this Money Management Monday video with a goal for the month of February. I would like to get this futon mattress out of my life. Honey, can we sell the futon? Hi, welcome to another month. It is February. I want to share these videos every single month just because I know what it's like to get into a financial rut. I want it to be an encouragement, and no joke, 5 minutes ago I saw somebody post basically how they're restarting their year. Let's do our finances together. You're gonna walk with me how I do my budget. She's like, we live very minimal, or it wasn't minimally, very modestly, and she's like, I don't give you accurate numbers, but just know that it's pretty close or pretty accurate to, I don't give you exact numbers, but the idea is basically kind of their thing. And she opened up with, okay, now we've got our $8,000 a month that we're working with. Modest budget. And I know that's it for some of them out there, and there's no shame in that. Like, if you make that, wonderful, that's great. And if you're being a good steward with your money, that's fantastic. That is not the point of this. The point of this is that there are people lower, and there's a struggle there, and there is an idea of, can we really make it? And that is why I make these videos, because I'm not the only one out here. There's people even making less than we do and still trying to make this work. And I just want to show realistic life in a lower income setting. And I want it to be an encouragement. I don't want it to be a downer. So, with that introduction, let's first kind of talk about the numbers from January, because today I kept track of all the spending. I categorized it, so like groceries, necessities, all of that. We had some extras. If you remember, my daughter had a 1-year heart surgery update, and we went and got some food, and then we went to the thrift stores, and from that we have started basically redoing our no-spend year. And so now, I just moved it to February 1st. Like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to remember which date it is. We're moving it to February 1st to February 1st. And even in between there, if I've gotten some days on, hallelujah. I need a specific first of the month. Y'all, I'm a first of the month person. But the stats, the one that literally, that's exactly what happened. It was just like this, what? I want to talk about the groceries we spent. The money we spent on groceries. The amount was $1,010.13 by adding up all of the receipts. First of all, with that amount, I just wrote down the total off of every receipt. So I know that it's under 1,000. It's $950 to 1,000 or 1,010, because remember I wrote the total amount from the receipt without subtracting the money that my kids had used and paid us back with. But regardless, that is still way over the $700 budget that I gave myself. But what is even more just was the fact that we got a check from a friend for $200. Another friend Venmo'd me $100, and yet another friend sent $150. With that, I will say some of that was for coffee. Like, legit, go get some coffee. I'm like, hallelujah, I'm on my way. And I did. And I enjoyed every drop of it. Like, that's some of the best coffee I ever had. It all worked out. The money in my bank account works with the expenses we had this month. And to be honest, I was going into the month with confidence that everything was going to work out great. And I genuinely did not comprehend how the little purchases added up. On that note, you will see a haul coming up Thursday. Yeah, I think I do hauls on Thursday, and then like what we ate in the week on Friday. The haul on Thursday from Amazon was purchased with February's or I'm sorry, January's money. Even though it's being shown in February because it arrived in February. And to be honest, I had already filmed, edited, and scheduled the last grocery haul, or the last haul of January. So it astounds me. There is actually still, I don't remember, I have to look at my bank account. There's actually still between what was sent to me, what is left from babysitting, and what is left from what was given to me, what's left from babysitting. It's pretty much all that I got paid this month, right? I don't think I really got paid much left. Yeah. Brain, work, I shut down. Anyway, there is still enough in there that if I have to run to the grocery store, I will. And we are all good. There is stuff in the freezer, and I have plans to just start working through that. That's why I have built up this freezer. And let's not forget the truck foods that always come. Alright, so let's kind of talk about, so we talked about the eye-opening expenses and what happens today. So I paid this is one of the things I was going to start adding. I paid my credit card bill today. And that, again, wiped out a lot of the money that I had earned and what was given to me. With that, we purchased Berkey filters. We purchased ink for the printer. And I forgot about a subscription that renews every 6 months. That was $275. That is my son's Craftsman Crate kit. So each month a kit comes and you basically learn a new skill. I have a plan to do a video with it. I just haven't filmed it yet. And the idea behind that crate was to take the paycheck that I got for teaching the one kid in California. I homeschool him. I send him his schedule of what he needs to do, what he needs to turn in, his assignments, and I get paid for doing that. His parents, they're in charge of making sure that it gets done, that it is done correctly in any kind of teaching, but the trouble they have is kind of just making sure that what they need to do. So that's where I come in. So that's done, and that was last year to kind of, the money there was to pay for the crates, and I completely forgot about it, and so we are renewed for another 6 months, and then I put on the calendar, cancel this before I get charged another 6 months. Not because I don't love it, but because this is not part of the no spend year. Another reason why I decided to start in January, because it doesn't fit even though I forgot. So that's the credit card, paid for all of that. All of the money that we had saved up from Christmas and gifts, that paid our reclosing costs because we refinanced the house. That wasn't the intention, but we ended up getting a point less in our interest. The point of refinancing our house was to get away from the mortgage company that we were with. I did not like them. I do not trust them. We didn't even have them to begin with. When we bought this house, the one guy we were working with was like, yes, I'm going to be with you all the way, and then like halfway in between, we couldn't get a hold of him. We were like, should we change mortgage? I'm like, no, we've got to get this house closed. We want to do this. We want to do that. Let's just get through this. And within 1 month of having that mortgage, they sold it to another mortgage company, which irked me so much. But not only that, they sold it to a mortgage company I really didn't want at all. So we finally have refinanced with our current bank at a point less interest, a 15-year loan instead of a 30, and it is only $40 more per month that we have to pay. Always paid $500 on it. That's just something that we have always done, regardless of what, even back years ago, we've just always had that amount to go into it and then just apply it principal. So I'm really, really excited about that thing, but it does mean that you have a reclosing cost of $1,300, I think, is what we did. I think that's what we paid. I think close to that. So there's kind of that financial update. Lots of information going out here, but these are the things that, you know, we got to talk about and kind of look at. And again, we had the closing cost money. Thank you to Christmas gifts. Now, my husband, again, went back to school in January, so he isn't working as many hours. I have one kid pretty consistently that I get paid for. My kids wanted some ways to earn money this month, and I let them do that because I was trying to focus on some other things that I had to get done. And basically what ends up happening is I just can focus on that, but the cost doesn't really, like, I'm not getting a higher paid job by letting them do it. So hindsight, it probably wasn't the best decision, but it is what it is. They needed a way to earn money. It's not really the best time to earn money, and so we worked it out that way. And it's good for them to learn to be responsible in that way. That's just what I kept telling myself. Anyway, so I have one kid pretty consistently. We have another kid that comes over, but she is babysat by my daughter, even though she's in my house. So when I talk about I have a lot of kids here, not necessarily always me on duty watching them. I just have a lot of kids here. Now I will have an infant, like needs formula infant, coming into our house, and the only thing I can say about that is I am babysitting a foster kid, and that's all I can say about that. Alright, so February income coming up. I actually won't be paid for this foster kid until the following month because of how things like this work. So all that to say, all of January's income paid the credit card, and then rolling into February, I still have a little bit left from what has been given to me, and it's like 100, I think, left from what has been given to me, and that's being rolled into February. We're starting off with, my husband brought home $1735.14 this past month. He brought home that. The amount that we basic needs, no groceries, and I want to talk about groceries here in a second, but the basic amount is $20.35. So I have the $22.35 as to what we use basic day by day cost and whatnot. This does not include groceries, if I recall. So that means I have $100 this month for groceries. Are we concerned? We're not concerned. Honestly, let me just say it this way. I am not terribly concerned. The reason why is God has shown time and time again that He is watching over us. He is faithful. You guys have seen my Aldi stock up. You will have seen my Amazon stock up. And we have food in the freezer. So this is going to be kind of like my challenge. And I wanted to talk about the grocery amount. So when I say groceries, I include things like if we need shampoo, if we need feminine products, if we need a bra, if we need pants, if we need vitamins, if we need things like that. I just lump it all into that, because when I tried to separate it, it actually got too hard for me because I purchased everything in one transaction anyway. That was getting too difficult. The only thing I'm going to start doing now is if the kids have something that they need to pay me back for, I'm putting it on another receipt. So that's the only change I'm going to make. So I'm going to fill some envelopes. You don't really need to see that. That is our financial update kind of going into February. Insofar as the no spend, I was really happy with just where that went. I'm really happy. I'm so frustrated about that darn crate. My son's thrilled. He is so happy. But I'm like, oh, gosh darn it. The things we don't think about, right? So that's going to be the update for this month's Money Management Monday going into February. What we've got going for us. And just a realistic breakdown. What has changed? What has not? I know that we did have an increase, and I need to rewrite my budget to reflect this. We did have an increase in our internet. It went up by $3 a month. So I need to reflect that. And last month our insurance, house and car insurance, was a little bit higher, and I need to figure out why that is. Because they just took out today for another month, and it was back to the same. I don't understand it. So, other than that, I have gone over the I have gone over my basic budget with you. I will leave that link down below if you're new and kind of want to see, but this is kind of a basic outline that I need to update again. That worked out really well. We even managed to have an extra $20 in gas, which was, so every week I calculate that my husband needs 20 and I need 20 for gas. And we ended up with an extra $20, which was fantastic, because if you've seen the price of gas lately, that meant I filled my car all the way to the top, not only 3/4 of the way full. And now I prefer having a full tank of gas. That I never like to go below half, ever. I am a half and above gal, and that is mainly because the 2 times we've had to make emergency trips out of town, it's been at half or below. And never again. And we'll never do that again. So, that's it. I think that's the update. If there are any questions that I can address in upcoming videos and other monthly Management Mondays, if there's things that would be helpful to know, helpful to see, again, the purpose of this isn't to not brag, I don't want to say brag. And that's the thing with financial gifts. Like, I want to be real and honest and upfront with you, but there's almost this guilt of getting that, because I know not everybody has the blessings that we have, and there really is a guilt of, we don't deserve this. But I know, and I'm working hard at letting that go and being like, okay, someone's showing us love, let it go, pass on what you can, because that is so important to me, that if somebody gives something, that I turn around and find ways to help others, because there's always those around us that need help. So with that being said, I don't share this to kind of say, look at us, look how popular we are, look how great we are. No. I'm sharing that as to look how much it helped us, and look how, because of that, I can turn around and help somebody else that I know needs it, and find ways to do that in your community. You'd be surprised just how far your help can go. Trust me on that one. So if there's anything I can help, please, that is the goal here. That is really the honest, truest goal, is to help, encourage, and just motivate those of you that, this is a hard journey. This is not an easy journey. It is really hard to go to the grocery store and think, did I go over? It is really hard to sit at the end of the month and calculate everything and just think, how? I thought I was just doing basics. I remembered one question I had last month, and that was with our cash envelopes. How do we make that work? So we pull out the amount that my husband earned for the month. I count it all out. I withdraw. I then take it home, and literally we put it in each envelope. And then I take it to the bank and I deposit it. We might be asking, why don't you just leave the money in there that is going to be just taken out for your utilities? Why withdraw it all? It actually has to do with something that we learned when we did yard sales. When we did yard sales, we would have the tally all up. And then we would, you know, somebody's like, I purchased $6 worth of stuff, we would write it all out. Okay, we kept track of this way because there was always, I never just did it by myself, I always did it with other people. And then we would tally up the numbers of who earned what. Then we would go to the cash and we would count it all out, and there was always extra. And no matter how diligent everybody was about making sure that they wrote it down, there would be multiples of us kind of working no matter what, and it was usually over $20 to $40. It's kind of worked like that with us here too. One of the things that I found is that it works better for me to have it all out, all into the envelopes, that physical accountability of touching, feeling, and everything. I don't have that accountability when I have just withdrawn the grocery. I don't know why, I just know for me this works the best. Whether for you it's just paper, that's fine, that's great. Do what works for you. I just know for me physically, this is what works best. So there's the answer to that question. I wanted to make sure that I addressed it. So with that being said, in this video, longer than I wanted it to, I'm going to end here. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys just keep going. Don't grow weary. Be strong. And